Olá, boa noite. O Exou Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 3 de Secret Files 2, Puritas Cordis. Nina já desconfia de algo estranho nessa viagem de navio. Além do ataque que sofreu, viu que a antipática que mentiu sobre ter testemunhado aquilo como um acidente, na verdade, estava sendo ameaçada para dar essa versão. Essa moça, aliás, foi, ao menos aparentemente, envenenada ao contar a verdade para Nina. Agora, a Nina pretende, no jantar, ouvir o que o outro passageiro esquisito que a interceptou no corredor do navio disse que teria para contar sobre os estranhos eventos na viagem. Para o jantar, então. Jantamos agora?
First, he wants to see me and tell me some vitally important news regarding the incidents on the ship, and now he's not here. Men. So I'll give him another 5 minutes. After that, it's his bad luck. Did someone just fall overboard? I hope I'm mistaken. I must have been mistaken. Who could have? And if not, what if there really is somebody out there, floating in the sea? I will tell the captain just to be sure. He'll know what to do.
And you're positive that somebody fell overboard?
Yes, well, it was like this. I was just sitting in the restaurant, waiting for somebody. And suddenly I heard voices.
That's not unusual at sea. Never heard of the ship's kobold?
I'm serious. There were these two men and they were fighting. Well, at least I saw two shadows and got the impression that they were fighting each other. Then there was a loud splash, as if one of them had fallen into the water, and I could see only one shadow after that.
You really think someone was thrown overboard?
It looked like it, at least.
Did you recognize these men?
No, I only know that one of them had a long ponytail. At first I thought it was a woman, but the figure looked more like that of a man. The guy with the ponytail suddenly disappeared after the loud splash.
There's only one person on board who has a ponytail. Our ship's doctor. I find it hard to believe what you've just told me, but it can't hurt to have a look together. The doctor should still be in the sick bay with Miss Jordan.
Thank you.
See? Everything's fine. Our ship's doctor is taking great care of his patient.
You think I'm crazy, don't you? I was sure that there was a fight and that one of them went overboard.
No, I don't think you're crazy. It was dark, and these things do happen. Just lie down and sleep for a few hours.
Actually...
I need to return to the bridge now. Good night.
Yes, thank you. Same to you. Strange. Did I really just imagine it? Oh well, while I'm busy making a fool of myself, I might as well go and check whether my date has finally shown up. Just wait. I'll have something to say to him tomorrow, but I've had enough for today. I'm going to bed now. Well, now I'm reasonably well rested and definitely fit enough to give someone who didn't show up for dinner a good talking to. But I just heard very distinct noises. Looks like that coward doesn't dare leave his cabin. Is he only afraid of being yelled at, or does he really have something to hide? Maybe I should go to the lower deck and look through the porthole of his cabin. What's the doctor doing in this cabin? And is he really the doctor? And if he is, why is he wearing a wig? But even more important, who is treating Katarina Jordan? I really need to check up on her.
Eu vi que era alguém com rabo de cavalo. Agora não é o médico falso com uma peruca com rabo de cavalo.
What's the doctor doing in this cabin? And is he really the doctor? And if he is, why is he wearing a wig? But even more important, who is treating Katarina Jordan? I really need to check up on her. He won't hear me, and I don't think it's a good idea to call attention to myself.
Melhor não chamar a atenção dele agora. Esse é o passageiro da máquina de lavar? É, né? Ah, não. A Jordan tá aqui na enfermaria.
The door to the sick bay is locked. Poor soul. Hopefully she'll be better soon. I don't really like her, but she's lying somewhat strangely, so twisted. People don't lie like that. Something's very wrong here. The captain may well finally call me mad, but if something really has happened, then somebody should do something about it, and fast. I must convince the captain that there is something wrong here.
Pela borda, a bordo do Calypso. Nina espera em vão o homem que se supunha ia reunir-se com ela no restaurante durante o jantar. Pela escotilha, testemunhou uma luta em que um homem com colete parece cair pela beirada e desaparecer no mar. A única pessoa que coincide com essa descrição é o médico do barco, que em teoria está tratando Caterina Jordan na enfermaria. Está passando algo estranho, algo muito estranho. Preocupação por Caterina Jordan. A bordo do Calypso, Caterina Jordan está numa posição muito estranha na sua caminha na enfermaria e não há ninguém que a atenda. Ela diz que tem que falar com o capitão.
Hello. What can I do for you?
I was in the sick bay earlier, and I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with this Caterina Jordan person. I can't say I find her particularly likable, but the way she was lying in her sickbed looked so odd.
Don't you worry. Our ship's doctor is an excellent man. He knows what he's doing.
That may well be, but he wasn't anywhere to be seen.
Do you really think the doctor would just leave his patient to die? I'm talking to you right now, but I'm still making sure we always stay on course at the same time. Just trust the experts. They know what they're doing.
I can instantly think of about 1,200 examples of the opposite, but I'm not going to be able to convince the captain without concrete proof. Does your doctor wear a wig?
Not that I know of. Why?
He's in a passenger's cabin at the moment, and he's definitely wearing a wig.
Look, I don't want to get personal, but you seem to have experienced a number of strange things here on board. Exchanged suitcases, disappearing handbags, doctors who went overboard.
What are you saying?
I'm not saying anything, but please understand, I've really got enough to do on this ship without taking care of the passengers' entertainment program.
Well,
Now just go and find yourself a nice deck chair and enjoy the journey.
but do I really look like some bored bimbo who just makes all this stuff up in order to grab the limelight? It seems I do. So I need proof. Okay, so I'll get some.
E ela vai ter que pegar a máquina fotográfica do outro passageiro lá para fotografar a peruca do médico.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you.
Ele diz que muita coisa estranha acontece no cruzeiro desde que ela entrou. A Tigu diria que o mais estranho de tudo é que ela não tomou café da manhã e na hora do jantar resolveu ir dormir sem comer nada também. Um doutor falso a bordo do Calypso. Nina suspeita que o homem na cabine número 5 não é o médico do barco. Isso encaixaria com a luta que viu durante a noite. Mas quem é? E como poderá Nina convencer o capitão de suas suspeitas? Uma ideia é essa, pegar a máquina fotográfica emprestada.
He's looking at the photos on the wall with inordinate enthusiasm. Hello, Mr. Lee.
Hello, Miss Kalenkov.
Are you on board simply to relax?
I have the same strategy as you. I like to combine business with pleasure. I'm on my way to a conference of the IADSES.
May I ask?
Of course, the International Association of the Discoverers of Stars in Everyday Situations.
Come again?
Virtually every magazine has sensational shots of stars in extremely embarrassing situations.
Yes, you can't really miss them.
We are also on the hunt for photos of famous people, but we don't climb trees and we don't creep through sewers. We have a code of honor.
I see.
For us, it's all about catching the star in a completely everyday situation in public. For example, when they are shopping in the supermarket, or driving, or going for a walk.
Sounds interesting.
Estrelas ele quer dizer celebridades ou subcelebridades, né? Não estrelas no firmamento.
I always thought the Chinese couldn't pronounce ours properly.
And I always thought Russians spent the whole day drinking vodka.
You can't beat good old cliches and prejudices. That's a fine collection of cameras you have there. Aren't they pretty heavy?
Yes, they are. But I was once lucky enough to meet Gina Turner at a car dealer's. I nearly wept for joy. And then the camera didn't work. Didn't have a clue why, it just didn't work. I never really recovered from that trauma.
Understandable.
Well, since then, I always have at least 3 different cameras with me, so that something like that can never happen again.
You seem completely fascinated by the photos.
To be honest, my fascination does have very definite boundaries. I only find the unknown beauty under the birch tree really fascinating. However, she does not seem to be a star, at least not yet. But perhaps that will change one day. Everyone started in a small way, you know. My first star was Sophia Loren, who accidentally spent too much time standing over a ventilation shaft during the opening of a department store. Unfortunately, it turned out that it wasn't Sophia Loren at all, but just a double. And it was no accident, but deliberately planned that way by the department store owner. Nevertheless, that was what started my passion for star photography.
And the photos on the wall can't even keep up with the Sophia Loren double?
Not yet, but I haven't looked at all the photos yet. Maybe one of them is a real hit. However, I realize I've become quite spoiled in this respect. Only real stars excite me now, and they probably wouldn't be seen dead on this kind of ship.
Who knows? Miracles happen.
You're right there. You usually bump into stars where you least expect them. For example, I once met a senator in the ladies' room. It was very embarrassing for him.
I can well imagine. But what were you doing in the ladies' room yourself?
That's a long story that you probably wouldn't understand.
No, probably not. Could I possibly borrow one of your cameras?
I'm sorry, but I never lend them out. Since that time with Gina Turner.
Yeah, I get it. But it would only be very briefly. The Polaroid will do, and it really is very important.
I'm sorry, but if a star should suddenly turn up here for whatever reason, and my other cameras weren't working, and the star left the ship before you returned with the camera?
Don't you think the likelihood of that scenario actually taking place is much lower than the risk of being struck here and now by a coconut?
You would be surprised how many people.
All right, I can see that you can't be convinced with words.
Ele não se convenceu nem que a roupa tinha terminado de lavar.
I'll let you know if I bump into any stars on the way.
Oh, that would be nice.
E agora tem que fazer uma outra armação aí para enganar que alguém é uma estrela. Papel alumínio aqui no chão, novidade.
A roll of aluminum foil.
Eu, bonitão bronzeadão aí. Queimadão. Tá aqui a revista de celebridade com o George Clooney. Será que essa ela vai pôr aqui no lugar?
If I fold the cover correctly, you can't see the text anymore. Now, you could almost mistake it for a real photo.
Tá. E isso vai nos resultar no quê?
As if George Rooney would ever board a ship like this. But some people will believe that sugar-free cream cakes won't make them fat, so...
E agora?
I had hoped he'd look a bit less oily today, but I guess that's another hope I can bury now. Hello,
Hello, pretty lady. What a piece of luck meeting you here. Have you taken part in our fantastic prize draw yet?
No, not that I know of.
Well, then it's high time you did. Otherwise, you'll miss out on our great prizes.
And what are they?
Oh, I haven't properly introduced myself. You probably already know that my name is Fleming Olson, right?
No, but what's in a name? I can remember you clearly anyway.
Great. I leave a lasting impression on most people. Once they meet me, they don't forget me so quickly.
Yes, you can say that again.
Here's something I'm sure you didn't know. I work for Rain Cloud Travels, the largest and most popular travel agency in Europe.
I see.
Like, we organize coach trips to all kinds of destinations, imaginable and unimaginable. You choose one, and we'll take you there. But not just like that. Our luxury coaches will ensure that you arrive at your destination relaxed and well-rested, and...
Great. What about the prize draw, then?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Even after so many years, I still get all worked up when I think of all the great possibilities we offer our customers. They include, for example...
Muito mais tarde, vou perguntar do 27, sorteio.
How does the prize draw work? What exactly can I win? And how?
I'm glad you asked. On the table, you can see a few landmarks from the destinations that we at Rain Cloud Travels offer tours to. Anyone who wants to take part has to build a model of one of these landmarks for a chance to experience an unbelievable, unforgettable journey.
Yes, I know some people who have traveled with this company and will probably never be able to forget it for the rest of their lives.
As I said, some passengers have already participated, so not all cities are available. But the selection is still quite good. Got Paris, London, Brussels, and Vienna. Just choose which landmark you want to build a model of.
And then I can win a trip?
A journey from our stunning range will be raffled amongst all the participants.
And if I win, can I choose where I want to go?
You don't have to worry about a thing. We practically pick you up at your front door and take you to your hotel. Of course, the excursions are free of charge as well.
But you didn't answer my question. Can I choose my destination?
We'll do that for you too. Just build a model of one of the remaining landmarks and you will get a numbered lottery ball from me. All participants will bring their lottery balls with them to the next port, where I will personally draw the lucky winner of a fantastic trip.
I'm off now for a while.
Oh, what a shame. But you can come back any time. I always enjoy charming company.
Yes, I would enjoy that too.
Monumentos.
One of the most famous landmarks in Europe, even though there aren't many people who would recognize it.
Mais nada aqui. E a Tigu vai ficar brava de novo. Ela não quis tomar café da manhã. Ó, eu lá, só no bongozinho.
There he is, the king of the bongos. It is quite amazing what a big noise you can make with such a small drum.
Exatamente isso. Como que eu consigo fazer tanto barulho num tambor tão pequeno?
Nice drums you've got there.
They're bongos.
Oh, sorry. How could I?
No problem.
You're making a terrible racket with those things. Can't you occupy yourself some other way?
Sure. No problem. How?
Well, how about playing ping pong, for example?
I've already played that. But the last ball fell into the sea.
Oh, well, what about swimming?
No, that's really boring.
Yes, well, what about reading?
Even more boring.
I can see it won't be easy to persuade you to stop drumming.
Right. That won't be easy.
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
Well, now I'm really curious.
Cheeky kid. I like him, but it's difficult to look past that cheeky kid label. Okay then, I'll leave you and this deck to this terrible noise.
Yeah!
Tem que colocar fone de ouvidos, como o atendente aqui. Que agora é outro atendente, não é?
Porter, barkeeper, and probably also baggage handler, cleaner, and cook. You have to be flexible as an employee nowadays.
É, esse é o porteiro.
Why are you working as a barkeeper now? Didn't you have enough work to do as a porter?
Yes, more than enough. But what am I supposed to do? Special circumstances require special measures.
You're telling me. Where's your colleague?
That's a very good question, which I have already asked myself. When I see him next, he'd better dress up warm.
The question is, does the barkeeper's disappearance mean he had something to do with yesterday's events? And if so, is he the victim or the perpetrator? I must keep my eyes peeled and my ears to the ground to make sure I don't become the next person everyone worries about. For how long has little Oscar been drumming already?
It seems like forever, but that's probably just my impression.
Yes, probably. Can't you persuade him to take a short break or a long one?
I've already tried that, and it turned out to be a serious mistake. The kid would probably have stopped a long time ago if he didn't know how much he's annoying me.
And you put up with that?
He is the captain's son.
I see.
But maybe you can do it. I'd be eternally grateful.
I won't promise anything, but I can try. Is it worth opening the bar? There's not really much happening here.
To be precise, there's nothing at all happening here. But that's no wonder with that racket going on. Who wants to listen to hours of arrhythmic drumming if they can avoid it? But as long as there are no other guests here, I can at least escape the noise with my MP3 player.
I'm leaving now for a while. If I bump into the barkeeper while I'm gone, I'll send him to you, okay?
I would be very grateful to you.
Palitos com papel de alumínio.
They create a slightly alien impression.
Ela vai fazer um monumento alienígena? Com os mazapanes?
Something is still missing, otherwise the assortment doesn't really make sense.
Ainda falta algo antes de pôr os palitos no marzapã. Será que ela tem que embrulhar isso também no papel alumínio? Sim. E agora
My
isso
ticket
nisso.
for a potential dream journey. I'll build a model of the atomium. Even complete modeling amateurs like me can do that. If that doesn't win me a prize, I don't know what will. What a fabulous construction. If only my handicraft teacher could see it.
Ah, ela já fez uma maquete antes que a Bá. Mostrar pro fotógrafo a foto do George Clooney depois, né?
Here is my contribution. Can I win this great trip now?
The Atomium. Well, you really have chosen the easiest of all possible landmarks.
Hey, don't put my work down. I went to a lot of trouble making it.
All right, this type of contribution also has a chance of winning our great journey. Here, please bring this ball to the prize draw in the next port. And with a bit of luck,
I'll soon be sitting in a coach full of people with smelly feet and screaming kids. I'm already looking forward to it.
you don't have to win the trip if you don't want to.
Yes, I do. Sorry, I'm just not feeling too good right now. This was meant to be a vacation already, but maybe I'll have more luck next time around.
Ganhou 27, mas perdeu a maquete.
A lottery ball the size of a ping pong ball, number 27. Maybe this will really win me a vacation.
E vai dar a bola pro Oscar jogar ping-pong?
Hello, Mr. Lee.
Hello, Miss Kalenkov.
Vai pedir a câmera, ele já disse que não.
Do you know that George Rooney is on board?
Yes, of course. He's sharing a cabin with the Pope.
Don't you believe me?
Of course not. He wouldn't board a ship like this if you paid him for it.
I wouldn't be so sure. Haven't you seen the photo on the wall yet?
What photo?
Come with me, I'll show you. Here.
That would be a sensation. That would be too good to be true. But what would he be doing here? No, it can't be. You just want to annoy me. If George Rooney was on board, I would have noticed a long time ago. And you'd hardly be seeing him alone without bodyguards.
He's traveling in disguise. Of course. That goes without saying.
And why should he do that? He could buy a much nicer and larger ship any time.
He still has his doubts, but with a bit of convincing, I could persuade him to take a photo of that false doctor. Then I would have proof that something here isn't quite right.
There's this new series called, Emergency Boat. That's why Mr. Rooney has to spend a week on a small boat disguised as a doctor. It's really the only way he can see what the working day of a ship's doctor is like, so he can play the role perfectly.
Sounds logical, but it seems too good to be true.
Just come with me. I even know which cabin he's in.
I can hardly see anything. Is that really supposed to be George Rooney?
That's what I said. You can take your photo now. It'll make you a star among the professional paparazzi. But I want a copy, too.
That doesn't help me at all. There'd be nothing to see on the photo except his back.
He's right there. I'll have to find some way of making sure there's more of him to see. So much for that gorgeous weather. Something's definitely brewing up there.
Oscar, you wanted to play ping pong, didn't you?
I can't. My ball went overboard.
I found you an almost perfect replacement.
Cool! Thanks. Oh, what's with the number on it?
It's a very special ping pong ball, and that's all I can say.
And yet another chance of a nice vacation slowly going downhill.
Great, thanks. I'll go straight down and get my bat.
I'll just take these bongos to be on the safe side. A few hours break from this racket won't do any harm.
Ah, ela pegou os bongos então. Vai tocar o bongô lá pro George Clooney?
Hollow on the inside and not very large. You can still make a considerable amount of noise with them, though, as Oscar has so impressively demonstrated.
Hello, Mr. Lee.
Hello, Miss Kalenkov.
Do you think you could stand at the window so that you can see more of George Rooney on the photo?
No, if he doesn't change his sitting position, the picture is worth nothing to me.
I somehow need to arrange for the guy to sit somewhere else.
I'll let you know if I bump into any stars on the way.
Oh, that would be nice.
A strange cabin, that wig, and the fight last night. Even if the captain seems to worry about nothing but avoiding imaginary icebergs, if I can present him with clear-cut proof that there's something screwy happening here, he will hardly be able to bury his head in the sand anymore.
Acho que não vai ter nada a ver com o bongô aqui. Nem com nenhuma dessas outras coisas.
The porter is behind the bar at the moment. I should make the most of the opportunity.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Put him in the longboat till he's sober. Put him in the longboat till he's sober. Put him in the longboat till he's sober early in the morning.
A strange cabin. That if I can...
Mas que adianta então ela fazer aquela palhaçada de cantar lá se o cara não vem tirar a foto? Só precisava de uma cantadinha, mas não adiantou nada.
Headphones with an integrated MP3 player. Very handy.
Can I borrow that?
You restored peace and quiet to the deck. It's the least I can do for you.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Maybe later. I'm just about as musically gifted as... If I mentioned that name, I'd probably end up being sued for millions.
Deixar MP3 no microfone?
Hello, Mr. Lee.
Hello, Miss Kalenkov.
Okay, now the photo should work fine.
Really? That would be great. Then come quickly. Yes, it should work now. But he doesn't really look like George Rooney. Are you sure?
Of course, he's disguised himself so that people won't recognize him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to prepare for his role peacefully.
Sounds logical. Another one for you. You've earned it. Here, this is for you. You just can't imagine what a favor you've done me. This is one of the greatest days of my life. Thanks a lot.
The pleasure's all mine, and many thanks for the photo.
The photo of the guy who disguised himself as a doctor.
Hello. What can I do for you?
Agora eu tenho a prova de que eu não estou bêbada.
I've taken a photo of your alleged ship's doctor. Either the guy just likes dressing up, or we're dealing with a swindler here, or perhaps something even worse. Are you convinced now?
Oh my God, you're right. But I don't understand. Could you explain?
I can try, but I'm afraid I don't know much more. The question is, shouldn't we take care of the false doctor first? He should certainly be able to answer some of our questions.
Good idea. Come with me. I'm curious to hear what he has to say for himself. So, where is he?
Sick bay?
Okay, let's take a look. Miss Jordan! Oh my God, she's dead!
Do you see the welts on her throat? She was strangled.
What do we do now?
I don't know. In any case, you should inform the police, right?
Yes, good idea. Why did this have to happen on my ship? If this gets out, nobody will want to travel on my ship anymore.
Is that all you can worry about? There's a woman lying here, obviously murdered, and you're worried about business?
You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. It must have been the shock.
All right, but you should really call the police now.
Yes, I will. I'll send out a radio message and make straight for the nearest port. Please wait here and make sure nobody touches anything.
I can do that, but please hurry. I don't feel really at ease next to a corpse.
Poor Miss Jordan. Who did that to her? And why? What was that? It sounded like shots.
Capitão já era também.
Thanks, you have. But what?
Later. Now, first we need to...
Oh my God! It's all true!
Tsunami. Enquanto isso, na Indonésia,
Phew! That was the last of the gear from the boat. It's pretty warm here. Yes, very warm.
You'll get used to it. Well, I sure didn't expect to see you here, not even in my wildest dreams.
Well, you know, when they asked if I'd like to do a photo documentary on Sam Peters, the famous archaeologist, it didn't take me long to make up my mind. It's a small world, huh?
So it is. I think I haven't seen you since our college days. How long ago was that?
Can't be all that long ago. We're both still in our early 20s.
Right. And you still look just as attractive now as you did then.
Thanks.
So, before you get so embarrassed that the ground swallows you up, would you like to rest for a bit? You must be tired after that long journey.
Asleep on my feet, to be honest, but there's a couple of things I'd like to know before I hit the hay, or my curiosity will probably keep me awake.
Okay, here's a brief summary. I followed up on some rumors about the existence of an ancient temple. After months of searching, I finally found it. A few weeks ago, my team and I started examining the outside of the temple more closely.
Your team? Where did they all go?
That's a long story.
Keep it short.
I had 5 native assistants and 2 colleagues from the university in Jakarta, but the moment we got here, things started going wrong.
In what way?
There were certain incidents. At first, it was things disappearing, then scaffolding collapsing, and finally, my 2 colleagues just vanished without a trace.
Without a trace? You mean they never came back?
No. Instead, this guy showed up and told my native workers that they were desecrating sacred ground.
What guy?
I don't know. He certainly wasn't dressed for the jungle. Went about wearing some kind of robe all the time. A really sick individual.
So what did he want?
He said that the volcano in the west of the island was going to erupt soon, and that only Puritas Cordis could help us escape from all the disasters that are about to strike.
Puritas Cordis? That European sect that keeps predicting the imminent end of the world?
Beats me. I would assume he was just some grave robber trying to get rid of us so he could have the temple's treasures to himself. That volcano hasn't been active in decades.
Looks like his threats got to your workers, though.
No, they didn't run away until the guy came back, ranting about how something terrible would happen very soon unless they left this place at once. Next day, they found a dead orangutan in the camp. This animal is sacred to the natives, so they freaked out. I've never seen anyone run so fast and so far.
And you've been here alone ever since?
Yes. I've sent for more people from the mainland, but these things take longer here than they do elsewhere.
So I've noticed. Have you been inside the temple yet?
No. I found the back entrance, but I cannot get the door open. It has a strange inscription. I managed to decipher it, but that didn't get me anywhere. I'll show you tomorrow.
Okay. I think it's time I got some sleep anyway. Oh, just one more thing. What's with the strange totem set up all around the camp? You're not superstitious, are you?
No, don't worry. But the peacock feathers keep the wild animals away.
Really? How so?
They see the big eyes on the feathers and think, wow, if that's the size of its eyes, how big is the whole animal? And then they scoot fast.
Oh, okay. But it doesn't seem to have worked on that monkey over there.
Thank goodness. He's the only one left. Every morning when I walk over to the temple, the little guy runs on ahead and waits for me there. He comes to get me in the evenings, too.
I see your magnetism doesn't work on humans alone.
You'd better get yourself to bed. I'll show you around tomorrow. Maybe your flirting will improve after a good night's sleep.
I'll do my best. Sweet dreams.
Thanks. Same to you.
Help me! Sam, no funny business, or I'll bump you off in the spot. What's going on? Sam?
I'll go back to my patrol then. You should be able to handle this, right?
Sure.
Remember, the girl must not cross our plans. The last couple of test runs were far from perfect. And if the dress rehearsal goes bad as well, we'll be facing one heck of a problem.
I get it. I'm not stupid.
Well, one could argue about that. But I hope you know what is at stake. This UN meeting gives us a unique opportunity. Puritas Cordis cannot pass up this chance.
The bimbo won't escape. I'm watching her like a hawk.
Hello? I am not a bimbo! And I won't be locked up either. What is all this about anyway? Let me out of here now!
We warned you more than once, but you just had to go all heroic on us. You should have done what your workers did. They were smarter than you and cleared out right away.
How dare you talk to me like that? I have a right to know what...
Shut it. One more word and I'll break your jaw. I've gotta go. Keep guard here until I come back. And if she gives you trouble, just shut her up for good.
Okay.
Uh-oh, another fine mess I've gotten myself into. I have no idea what they want from me, but they don't appear to be the most likable people I ever associated with. At least that one guy has left. He made an extremely brutal impression. I hope the other one isn't quite as nasty. No idea whether Max is still alive, but somehow I need to draw attention to myself. Maybe somebody out there will notice.
Ela chegou agora e já tem um diário, tá bem? Presos no paraíso. Max se encontra em uma pequena ilha da Indonésia preparando um fotodocumentário sobre St. Peters. que descobriu um templo antigo. Sem embargo, as escavações de Sam inquietam aos membros da seita Puritas Cordis, que não deixam de molestá-la. O conflito culmina com o sequestro de Sam em plena noite. O que quer essa gente com ela? Ou dela? Como ela se arranjará para escapar? Se Max logra sobreviver, poderá fazer algo para salvá-la? O que ela tem no inventário? Uma bengala e uma bússola.
Good thing they didn't take away my signal rocket. Now I'll just have to figure out how I can use it to call on Max for help, if Max is even still alive.
É uma bengala sinalizadora, então?
This gizmo got me out of all kinds of predicaments before.
Frutas.
The bowl contains bananas, oranges, and raspberries. The first two are nothing special, but I really wonder how they got their hands on raspberries here. Should I take the orange? Or maybe the banana? A raspberry, perhaps? If I had a drop of sherry, some lemon juice, and a little whipped cream, I could make a fruit salad.
O que eu pego? Banana, framboesa, laranja? Framboesa, que ela falou que é diferente.
A raspberry might be a good choice.
Ou será que ela pode ficar com tudo?
I think I'll have a banana.
Desde que uma não vá
I'll just take
substituindo a
one of
outra.
these oranges. I should not remove more than 3 pieces of fruit or someone might notice, and the stupid guard will start asking stupid questions.
Ah, vai ter algum quebra-cabeças com as frutas, então. Rosto horrível.
These scary faces are supposed to keep evil spirits away from the temple. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work for my charming guard.
Tá aqui para ver o rosto horrível atrás do meu rosto horrível. Oh, agora todo mundo se assustou. Buraco.
There is a hole right under that ugly mug. It's pitch dark. I can't make out a thing. It's empty. I could push it through the hole, but then it would be gone, and I would be stuck with even fewer options than I have at the moment.
Pedaço de bambu com arame.
The wire is wrapped around one of the bamboo tubes. What for? No idea.
Não tenho ideia, mas é sempre bom pegar, né? Arame e pedaço de bambu.
A fascinating plant. First it blooms, and then it dies. All right, it's similar for humans, but let's not discuss that here. Anyway, this rod has not been hollowed out. It still contains the typical chambers.
Ah, então eu vou perfurar o bambu com o arame. Não, não dá liga.
This wire is very sturdy and almost impossible to bend.
O arame nas frutas. Acho que vai ter que fazer encadeamento correto para algum experimento aqui.
Delicious. And healthy, too. Unfortunately, I cannot think of anything usable that might be constructed this way. I could stuff the signal rocket in there in order to control its flight path. A fat lot of good that does me as long as I have no means of igniting it.
Tem que conseguir algo para acender. Não tem mais nada perto que ela alcance ali, rampa.
This slanted wall reminds me of a launch ramp. This construction doesn't roll very well.
Era para rodar isso aqui?
The signal rocket would very likely roll down this slanted wall and hit the campfire, but it will just go off in a random direction. I cannot imagine that would help me in any way.
Ah, vai ter que direcionar para cair na fogueira e a bengala disparar, acho que para cima. Cadáver aqui.
No idea what kind of animal this used to be. It must have been lying there for some time. There are 2 things I really cannot stand about this guy. The fact that he keeps me prisoner here and his fashion sense, which is terminally warped, even for a man. Tell me... Hey, you! Will you look at me when I talk to you?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, of course I am talking to you. There is nobody else present, and this cage doesn't provide a whole lot of opportunity for going out, meeting people, and making new friends.
Huh? What?
Good question. A very good question indeed. Whatever is going on here? What do you think you're doing, dragging me from my tent in the middle of the night and locking me up in a cage? Okay, so it's a jungle out here, but that doesn't mean you have to exhibit manners that would make Ivan the Terrible blush.
Huh? What?
You already asked me that a few seconds ago. Do you have a very limited vocabulary? Are you extremely slow on the uptake? Or do you happen to suffer from short-term memory loss?
Huh? What?
All right. Next question. Is the dim-wittedness of the average guard inversely proportional to the budget for voice artists who synchronize minor characters? I don't assume you can answer that one either.
Huh? What?
Oh, please deliver me from this evil.
E agora ela vai perguntar tudo isso pro cara que só responde hã? Hã?
That animal back there?
What about it?
Am I right in thinking that the poor creature perished from a long and futile struggle to carry on a reasonable conversation with you?
Huh? What?
I'll take that as a yes. I'll try and make it simple for you. Why have I been locked in this cage? What have I supposedly done?
Looks like you were in the way.
In whose way? Yours? Are you with that weird sect, Puritas Cordis?
How do you know?
Right. Now at least I know that Puritas Cordis is behind all this. They have been bothering me for a while, but I still have no idea why. So who was that other weirdo? His dress sense was even more outdated than yours. Where did he go? To get some fashion advice?
None of your business.
I beg to disagree. After all, I'm the one locked up here, and there has to be a reason. So I do think that it is my business. Besides, I am going to have to report the two of you once I get out of here for kidnapping, hostage-taking, unlawful detention, and exposure to tasteless clothes.
You are not going to report anyone. Trust me.
This wasn't really what I wanted to hear. Are they just planning to let me croak here? The face on the temple wall behind me is almost as scary as your dress sense and nearly as awful as your intellectual style of speech.
What?
When see bad face on temple wall, me get bumps of goose.
Just shut up. I keep trying not to look at it. But no matter where I go, I feel this thing is always haunting me, always watching. It knows everything I do, my every thought.
It knows what you think? Obviously, it doesn't know a whole lot.
Do not mock the face. It can hear you and will punish you horribly.
What do you think it will do? Make me wear something atrocious?
Just go on like that. You'll see where it gets you. I want to leave here as soon as I can. Get away from here. Far away.
I am temporarily losing the necessary motivation for this conversation, so feel free to go back to staring idly into space. Somebody must have brought it here, because the bogs of North and South Carolina are its only natural habitat. A bush with white berries, but at this distance I cannot tell what kind of berries they are. Unfortunately, a locked bamboo cage and a very unfriendly guard prevent me from reaching it.
Ela não pode alcançar nada além do que ela já alcançou.
I'm putting the fruit back into the bowl, but first I'll remove the skewer.
Agora ela devolve as frutas ali. A Bá deu a ideia que se pegar só laranjas, vai fazer como se fossem rodas, não?
What do I pick? Ah, choices, choices. I'll just take one of these oranges. I'll just take one of these oranges.
Ou mais uma laranja.
I'll just take one of these oranges. I should not remove more than 3 pieces of fruit or someone might notice, and the stupid guard will start asking stupid questions. Not a bad concept. The oranges roll smoothly enough and could be used as wheels. Maybe I can build something around this.
Tá, então ela pôs o bambu aqui, agora ela põe a bengala.
The signal rocket goes into the bamboo tube, and then I adjust it a little, and voila! We've got what I like to call a mobile rocket launch pad.
Boa, e era só laranja mesmo.
A bold design and a bold plan. Fits well together. I only hope my little contraption will stay on course.
Ah, o conquistador barato acordou aí. Não morreu.
Oh, why do these things keep happening to me? Ooh, what a mess. Someone should really... Where is Sam? What happened here? I vaguely remember hearing voices and... Oh, they kidnapped Sam. What am I going to do? Find Sam? But where do I look? She could be anywhere. I don't know my way around the island, and there are plants growing everywhere. Not a chance. What was that? The signal rocket was fired near the temple. Did Sam do that? Or could it be a trap? I've got to risk it. I can't let Sam down.
Covardes, Max. Aonde vais, Max? Max saiu relativamente ileso do ataque noturno. Quando viu explodir uma bengala sobre o templo, acreditou que se tratava de um sinal de Sam. Sem embargo, o templo se encontra a uma grande distância e, sem um guia, poderia perder-se na espessa selva. Aqui o guia dele. Achá. Chigu.
It's the little monkey that runs on ahead whenever Sam goes to the temple. Cute little thing.
Totem.
Sam said the eyes on the peacock's feathers would scare off wild animals. Apparently they think, wow, if that's the size of its eyes, how big is the whole animal? Well, if it works, who am I to complain? If these totems really keep the wild animals away, I had better leave them in place.
Pluma de pavão real.
A peacock's feather. It must be from one of the totems Sam set up all around the camp to keep the wild animals away.
E essa eu posso pegar? Posso. Totem móvel para eu ir levando pela selva quando aparecer algum bicho monstruoso. Bandeira.
The explosion must have torn it off its flagpole.
Documentos.
Some documents that belong to Sam.
Agora vou ter documentos para ler, então. O capacete rígido.
A hard hat with a lamp. Very useful for crawling through narrow tunnels where you can't use a flashlight.
Mochila. E se ele pegar, o urso vai vir atrás dele. O urso de mochila, que deve estar sem mochila agora.
Sam's backpack.
A Sam é um urso, será?
Let's see if there's anything useful in here.
Vai mexer na sacola dela.
Sam sure carries some strange things around. Very strange things. I'd be dead by now if I hadn't left my tent. Whoever kidnapped Sam obviously won't stop at murder. I should be careful. Some of these tent poles still look halfway usable. I'll take them with me. The explosion destroyed everything else, I'm afraid. The fire's gone out, but the ashes are still smoldering. I don't think I should light the fire. If the guys who kidnapped Sam come back and find a campfire burning, they're bound to start looking for me. A cast iron teapot. Hibiscus blossoms. Even I know that. The petals are a beautiful deep red. I don't usually go around tearing out flowers, but maybe these will be of some use. The fish are just avoiding the obstacle by jumping out of the water and over the cascade. I could name at least 20 people off the top of my head who wouldn't be that clever.
Rama.
One of the many miracles of nature, which experts call a branch. This isn't going to work. To quote Heraclitus, Ponta Rei, after all, adversity is no excuse for disregarding the educational opportunities of the situation.
Se ele vai fazer um chá de hibisco, talvez, né? Pegar água no rio.
2 glow sticks for emergencies. Why do so many people like beer? It must be hereditary. At home, we only use the stuff to catch slugs in the garden. A green balloon from Sam's backpack. I don't even want to know why she brought this on an archaeological expedition. A donut in clear plastic wrap. I'll just remove the wrap.
Porque ele quer ficar com o donut ou porque ele quer ficar com o plástico? Quer os dois.
The donut used to be wrapped in this. A frosted donut. It's not quite fresh anymore, but it still looks edible.
Esse acho que vai ser pro macaquinho, pra Tigudinha.
A blue flag that used to fly from the camp's flagpole. Nina Kalenkov, my ex-girlfriend. Something between heaven on earth and the fires of hell.
Lista de planetas.
A list of planets compiled by Sam. The natives of this island must already have known many of the planets in our solar system. That's sensational. And if I've interpreted Sam's scribbles on the back correctly, this list of planets and the symbols represent some kind of divine hierarchy. Venus, the goddess of love, is right at the top. Must have been a pretty fertile civilization, I guess. According to the heading, this is a translation of the temple door's inscription. Sam must have put a lot of effort into this. It says, "Honor the goddess enthroned above all. With her radiant being and ever-open eye, she looks down upon her subjects, the mute and the homeless. Yet they have no one to blame for their miserable state but themselves. Were they not so self-centered, then they could see the riches at their feet, the queen's gold."
Que isso tem a ver com a lista de planetas?
I'll fill this with some water.
Ah, tem uma aba aqui.
Pretty big. It must weigh around 200 grams. I wouldn't be surprised if it eats more than just flies. By the time I've waded through the water to reach the frog, it will have hopped onto the next leaf and be sitting there, laughing at me. Being laughed at by a frog is definitely not good for my self-esteem.
Pedra plana. Corre para a pedra plana.
A stone. It's as flat as the jokes that I used to keep hearing from that lady I don't want to think about anymore.
É, como sempre diz aquela que jamais disse isso e que ele não quer pensar mais.
Not a chance. Either I'm too much of a weakling, or I've decided it's the second alternative.
Haste da bandeira.
I guess there used to be a flag here, but the explosion tore it down. It's stuck firmly in the ground. I guess this used to keep unwelcome visitors out of Sam's little garden. A long bamboo tube.
Tudo para guardar no bolsinho.
A papaya tree. Actually, it's not really a tree at all, but a herbaceous perennial. But I don't think these details are so important right now. This is just like paradise.
Mamão papaya.
A ripe papaya. Tasty. I didn't come here to chase monkeys, and I'm sure he's better at climbing than I am. A little bit better anyway.
Então hoje vamos parando por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, as dicas, a torcida, desejando boa noite, até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.